just to give a little background on the car, this is chassis number 1, the very first version of the GT3R Viper.
This Viper, as far as the tub goes, is straight from the facility at Chrysler. It comes to us. We take it from a tub and modify the tub, put the roll cage in it. The suspension points are in the stock locations, and then we modify that with our A-arms, shocks, springs, everything from there.
The production chassis is underneath the car, and a lot of the skin is the same surface. And of course, the engine on the GTD car is almost entirely stock.
As part of the GT Daytona class, every GT car out there needs to have a lot of similarities to their production sister. So the engine and frame are totally stock, and you modify it from there. I was first in line to get it, and very excited to be part of the program.
Basically, from when we unload, what 100% separates the good teams from the bad is how prepared you come in at the front part of the show instead of the end of the show. You don't want to sit here and have to play catch up mechanically, setup-wise, performance, or anything. You want to make sure that you use every bit of track time that you possibly can to make sure that the car is 100% improving every time.
A good team is definitely well prepared. You can see the difference how teams arrive, and we have a great one here. They are here, everything is set up, and I feel right at home.
There's several guys that are full-time on the car, and so between each race they strip the car, rebuild it, make sure everything's perfect, do a setup on it, and then load it up. So when it unloads at the racetrack, it's fresh and clean and ready for battle.
We ship the car in the transporter with no fuel just for safety's sake. But it already has water in it. It already has, you know, the coolant in it, if you will. You also have oil, gear oil, everything there ready to run. So when it comes off, you just need to add fuel, basically. So then when we get here, we go through, we pull all the wheels off, go through and make sure that the alignment and suspension are A-okay, and then also do a nut and bolt is what we call it. We go through, a wrench is on every bolt, every fitting, make sure everything's mechanically sound. So basically, each person on the team has an assignment. So we have a car chief, and the car chief goes through and does the checklist. And then from the checklist, it's distributed out. We have a data engineer who handles all the electronics. We have a front guy that does all the suspension, everything on the front part of the car. We have a rear specialist, and then there's a guy that goes in and out of the cockpit as well that actually does all of the driver aids, anything in there, and make sure the cockpit is sound as well.
The process of getting prepared, getting unloaded, getting ready for a race weekend, quite honestly, is different than I've ever experienced, because everywhere else I've ever raced, we're chasing our tail. You kind of feel like when you made a practice session, it was an accomplishment to make it there. We're not chasing our tail as much here, which is a testament to the preparation of the guys on the team.
Basically, if you have a Street Viper, that it's like any car that you're really going to do a track day car with. But if you're running a Viper in particular, you know, the one thing that we always look at when we go and help guys out at the track is make sure that operating temperature's there, you're not hurting anything there. You know, as far as the suspension setup, you know, the Viper is actually so good with it. That's why they made it the way it is, the SRT. You know, it's you know, street race and track, and that's the beautiful thing about the Viper. Once we go to the first session, it all changes.